Now, narcissistic people live in the upside down world. Now, what I want to attempt to do with this message is to help you understand this important question. Do narcissists know that what they do is wrong? Well, the short answer is no, they don't. Why? Well, because they live in an upside down world where you are the one that is wrong. My name is Kevin, and this is The Royal We. And before I get into this message, I want to let you know that I am taking one-on-one appointments. Down in the description box, you will find access to my calendar. I look forward to spending some one-on-one time with you. Now then, we have to understand that narcissistic people, they operate in this world according to their perception of truth, just like you operate according to your own perception of truth. Another way you can look at this is that those who are in the light know the light as their truth. And those who live in the darkness know their darkness as truth. And then there's a lot of people that are just confused, right? Like Pontius Pilate, when he asked Jesus and he said, "What is truth?" Right? I think there's always been this crazy flip-flop and this miscommunication, this misunderstanding of what is truth. And that's because there is, in fact, an upside-down world. And this is not a new concept. As a matter of fact, they dealt with this and addressed this back in the ancient days. You can find it in the book of Isaiah. When it's written, they say, what is right is wrong, and what is wrong is right. What is black is white, what is white is black, what is bitter is sweet, and what is sweet is bitter. What's it referring to? It's referring to the fact that there is an upside-down world that people grab onto. They didn't have the word narcissistic people. They just knew people in terms of good and evil. But nonetheless, they had this understanding that there is a flip-flop of worlds, of perceptions. There is, in fact, an upside-down world. Now then, let's talk about some examples of what this looks like and how you and I come across this in narcissistic abuse. This happens, for example, when you try to place boundaries and rules in a relationship. From your mindset and your perspective, rules and boundaries are meant to keep everybody safe, are meant to implement equality and peace. You just want everybody to get along. However, to a narcissistic person, your rules and boundaries look more like oppression. And to them, it feels like they're being a wild animal encaged by your rules and your boundaries, and therefore they start thrashing about like a wild animal that's been caught, screaming and yelling and hollering and flopping around in a cage that they don't like. Why? Because it's oppressing them. The very thing that you think is right and fair and you want and causing, which will cause peace, is something that they look at as threatening. Another example of this is differences of opinion, right? In your perception, having a difference of opinion is no problem. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Not a big deal, right? You have your opinion, I have mine. And what you'll discover in the upside down world is that it's the exact opposite. You are not allowed to have a difference of opinion. In fact, a difference of an opinion is an attack to a narcissistic person. They feel attacked by your difference of opinion, and they feel threatened by it. So once again, it provokes narcissistic rage, and they thrash about as though you're firing fiery darts at them, when really all you have is a difference of opinion. But again, it's an upside down world. Another example of this is with fighting. You look at fighting as something dangerous and bad. You can't just walk around hitting people because you're angry. You can't walk around cussing people out and calling people names because you're irritated, and so you choose to walk away. Walking away is the most peaceful thing that you can do in that type of a situation. But in the upside down world of narcissists, no, you don't walk away. How dare you walk away? You're supposed to fight. And so they chase you, they stalk you, they come after you, anything to do to fight. I'm reminded of a statement I heard from Amber Heard, and I'm not diagnosing or anything like that. I'm just saying. But I remember in one of the phone calls that you can hear between her and Johnny Depp, for those of you who don't know Amber Heard, Johnny Depp, whatever, one of the statements was Johnny was talking about how she wanted to fight, and her response was, "You fight! You're supposed to fight! That's what we do! We fight!" Right? We're supposed to fight things out. And the problem with narcissistic people is they fight to the nth degree. They have no care or consideration to the extent of the fight. They will fight until somebody gets seriously hurt, injured, possibly even death. And it doesn't matter to them if they're the ones that are seriously hurt and injured. Why? Upside down world. And where that is right, you fight until it's over. But in your world, no, you walk away. Give people space to calm down. Upside down worlds. Now, it's important to understand this concept of the upside down world, right? Because the truth is you need to stay out of the upside down world, but you have to know about it in order to stay out of it. You see, there are what you would call, I guess, portals in between worlds. You do, in fact, have the opportunity to pass from your world and your perception of truth into the narcissist world. And what happens as a result is a highly toxic relationship where you feel bound, where you feel suffocated, where you feel like you have no freedom. You lose your identity. Why? Because you're in the upside down world, a world based on different rules and belief systems and perceptions than what you have. Likewise, narcissistic people can't stay in your world of uprightness, of upright rules, if you will, of those differences. They start to feel choked out. They start to feel oppressed, and they start to rage, and they run back to their world. So you have to understand that you can pass between. Oftentimes, toxic relationships start because initially you're pretending in the beginning. Narcissistic people pretend and mirror you and love bomb and pretend to be okay with all of your boundaries and this and that in the beginning until they can't handle it anymore. Likewise, they drag you into the narcissistic upside down world and you pretend to be fascinated by all of it. Ooh, this is exciting and different. Ooh, it's kind of wrong. Ooh, but I kind of like it. Right? How many of you been there? I could do that. I could do that for a little bit. Until you realize you're being choked out because you're in an upside down world than what you know, and then you're scrambling to get out of there. Point of this video is to help you make a decision. What world do you want to live in? They're not the same. This is apparent. They are not the same. You have to make a choice. And once you make a choice, you acknowledge that upside down world exists and you stay away from it. You can coexist knowing that there are these different worlds, if you will, this upside down world. You can understand, you can accept that it exists and also accept that you don't have to visit. You don't have to stay there, if you will. Stay in your world. Stay with your perceptions. Stay with your truth. Stay in the light, if you will. Or if you choose, stay in the darkness. Whatever you call your truth, stay there. Because all that's going to happen when you go to the upside down world from where you are and from who you are, you're going to be bound, and you're going to suffocate, and you're going to lose your freedom. Listen, I want to be a part of your healing journey. Down below in the description box, you'll find access to one-on-one time with me. We could have a telephone call, or a WhatsApp, or a FaceTime video call, or a text message consultation. It's up to you. Also, down below, you'll find access to Royal We Monday Night Live Chats. You'll find the link to that down below. Saturday morning is Royal We Fellowship. You'll find the link to that down below as well. And follow me on Instagram @JoinTheRoyalWe, and I'll be back with more videos for you right here on The Royal We.